Okay, now that we have our book cover done, let's work on another face, which is going to be our spine. So just a refresher, make sure that your rectangle with your shapes and your text, those are individual elements, but they get grouped at the group level where you're going to apply your transformations. So we already have our book cover, and now I'm going to create my spine. And my spine is typically the same height as my book cover, but then we're going to add another dimension called thickness. So on my rectangle, I've already got my all my parameters set up. So on my rectangle, on my scale, my X direction, the short direction is the thickness, and the Y direction is the height. Okay, and I am for now going to center that spine on the origin. I can also, since I know this is also the cover of the book, I'm going to go ahead and change the fill. I'm going to right click just to the right of that box so I can edit my expression, and then I'm going to change this to be the book color. Okay, so now this is going to match whatever color I choose for that book, since both of these are now tied to that same color. And then the last thing I want is I want the title to also be on the spine. So this new text that I dragged over, I'm going to edit that expression on the text, and I want to get rid of those double quotes, and I just want to directly use whatever's in title. So now when I type my title, it'll be in both places. Okay, another fancy trick is I want this title to be really big and multiple lines on the cover, but on my spine I don't want it to run over. But I don't want to have to type the title twice. So there's a very fancy code I can use where I still want to use the title, but I'm going to ask it to replace all the carriage returns with an empty space. And this actually just replaces it one at a time. So since I know I have two, I can do it a second time. Okay, this is running off my spine. So the first thing I do want to do is I want to rotate it 90 degrees, but it does need to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to scale it down so it still fits on my bind. Okay, so that's the spine of my book, and it. Let me put this with a decimal. I can change it to be a different size, but I want it to actually look like a spine. So this is the part where I have multiple elements. It's not grouped yet. I can either drag it on the canvas to select these two, or I can just click, press shift, and click the next thing, and those two are grouped. So at this point I can right click and select group, or I can press what it says right here, Control G, and that will also group. Now that I have it grouped, I'm going to, on the group, apply my transforms that allow this to look like the front face. And that would be a rotation of 30, a skew of 30, and scaling just the Y to 0.866, which is the value of the square root of 3 over 2. Okay, but it's not centered where my origin, where the tip of my book is at the origin, and that's where I just need to go back into my assignment. I need to know that that spine is the front face, so I can copy this expression from the front face, and then I can come back and in position, I'm not going to just copy over the 0 where the X is, I'm going to replace that whole expression. Okay, this allows my thickness to grow from the origin, and then my height to also grow from the origin of my book. Okay, the last video is going to be that top view.